out here. So HAlsey breaks silence. She's breaking her silence, y'all. Finally, we get to know, what does HAlsey think about the Israel-Palestine movement? Since Hamas' surprise attack on Israel last month, many celebrities have shared their thoughts on the war, while several have chosen to remain neutral, which is your best bet. If you're an actual celebrity trying to make it in the mainstream media fucking environment, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I mean, say stuff if you want to, but just know that, like, you're better off just doing the Taylor Swift. Right now, Taylor Swift hasn't said a fucking thing about Israel and Palestine. And you know what? That's probably good, because whatever she says is going to piss off about half of her fucking, of her demographic. So she's better off just keeping your mouth shut. She couldn't hold back in it. But HAlsey, on the other hand, is like, fuck you. I got to be heard. But I think it's important. I do think it's important for celebrities and musicians to voice opinions, because in the environment we're at right now, so many people feel like they can't say how they feel because they're afraid of people attacking them online, getting them fired, all that stuff. So mad respect to artists who are out there. I mean, even if you're HAlsey, even if you're whoever, right? Think of the dumbest celebrity you can think of. Emily Watson, you know, like, whatever. Emily Watson, she's not dumb, whatever. She's probably a pretty smart person. But, you know, she's gonna do. If you see Emily Watson, you love Emily Watson, you see her being brave, which whatever, brave, online, saying what they feel and not afraid to speak out, is gonna have other people break those chains that hold them back from speaking their mind. And I'm all about that. I don't care if you have nothing but nonsense and racist, anti fucking woman bullshit to say. I would rather be able to see who's saying this shit than not. And I would like to be able to openly discuss on how stupid they are, right? I think that's important, to be able to discuss how stupid dumb ideas are. Anyways, since Hamas' surprise attack on Israel last month, many celebrities have shared their thoughts on war. While several have chosen to remain neutral, others have thrown their support behind either Israel or the Palestinians, with HAlsey the latest star to post a statement. On October 7th, the militant group, yeah, we know that, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared his country was at war. We know all that stuff. Oh, and as of November 15th, more than 11,000 people in Gaza have been killed, according to the Associated Press, which about 40% of those 11,000 people were people under the age of 18.
How dare you?
Lots of babies being pulled out of the rubble, I'll tell you that. Taking to Instagram on November 15th, HAlsey said she was responding to people asking why she had not spoken about the conflict, especially as the 29-year-old has vocally supported Palestinians in the past. A few people have suggested that it's cowardice, she wrote in an Instagram story. Actually, let's just go down and read the story. So this is the story that she posted. This is Pop Base, who is a pretty big Twitter. This is exactly what she posted. So we'll just read from the actual post she put up. Lately, I've been asked why I haven't spoken about the conflict in Israel and Palestine for this great length of time, especially after my supremely vocal support of the Palestinian people for the past few years. A few people have suggested that it's cowardice, and to be completely honest, it is. I don't think it's cowardice to remain neutral or not speak on, especially if you're a fucking, if you're a pop star. Like, we shouldn't be looking to our pop stars for, you know, how we should feel about things. But I definitely think we should be looking to the people who lead our culture and being brave enough to speak openly about how we feel. But yeah. Let's see. I am truthfully exceptionally anxious about navigating my responsibility as a career activist as it pertains to my daily life off of social media. Being the mother of a small child and a member of my community, in addition to the contribution of my greater voice and platform, the global conversation has reached a level of volatility that I'm having a hard time navigating here and offline. During my last tour, I had a volume of violent and threatening events occur that resulted in my home being swatted multiple times and required the presence of snipers in the sky during most of my shows that summer. After that happened, I made a conscious decision to protect my family from people who plan to enact violence towards me in disagreement of my opinions. Whoa, shit, dude. Imagine having to hire fucking snipers. Snipers so you could fucking feel a little bit safe. She's not that smart. She was in Harry Potter. You know what? I think she is actually well educated, Wooby. I think she went to Oxford, which doesn't mean shit, I realize, but still, it means something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Emily Watson went to like a really prestigious school. What college did Emily Watson? Now we're diverting again, but we have to know. What college did Emily Watson attend? Oh, Bristol. I don't even know. I don't know where I got fucking I'm for hire. Oh my god, Naders, because you're like a kind of a do it all around Renaissance man who does like maintenance and all that shit. The new Pandaverse, oh my god, have you guys seen the new South Park Pandaverse? Amazing. There's actually like a subplot in there that talks about how college educated people don't know how to do shit anymore. So now all the now all the handymen are fucking are rich and billionaires, and all the college educated people are like mad they went to college because they felt like they got scammed because they don't know how to fix a fucking, a toilet or something. Our MPs went to Oxford. Look at them. Yeah, I know. There's been lots of smart people. Teddy Kaczynski, the Unabomber, went to fucking an Ivy League school. I think he went to Harvard. I believe he even taught there. So yeah, it doesn't matter that you went to an Ivy League school. I'm just saying that, there is some sort of prestige that comes with that. But I don't know what Bristol is. Is the University of Bristol some kind of place? I don't know. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I imagine you are, Naders. You own your own properties. You know how to fix things. You know how to grow things. You know how to do things. You have knowledge that allows you to exist on this planet without too much interference from assholes fucking trying to tell you what to do, which is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, Naders. Okay, so oh wait, where were we? X. Back to HAlsey. However, it doesn't sit right with me that a decision I made for my own family is in turn keeping me from vocalizing support for families enduring for worse violence. Families caught between the brawling hands of a militarized government and a terrorist organization, and the diaspora of both parties trying to get through each and every day. I have no meaningful statement or excuse to make that could justify my weeks of silence this time around. And I deeply despise the culture of deflecting responsibility to save face in front of the audience demanding comment. So instead, I'm coming here to call it for what it is, admit my regret, and reaffirm my stance regarding the liberation of Palestinian people. Okay, so I love how she made this about herself. Truly, a celebrity move there. But I do agree with her. I don't agree with her in the fact that like remaining silence, that whole like silence is violence thing is like, no, violence is violence. If you go and shoot somebody with a gun, you kill them. That's violence. If you go and shoot somebody with your words saying pew, 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 I hate you, and I don't agree with you, that is nothing. That's That's not violence. I mean, it's kind of violent shooting, pew-pewing at somebody. So, but disagreeing with somebody or not saying something is not the same as punching someone in the face. Porter said, we're from Bristol, the home of trip hop in the UK. Oh, cool. That's dope. Thank you, Wooby. Thank you for that education there, buddy. Bristol's near Wales. Also, Bristol is a euphemism for boobs. Ooh. She had some mighty good Bristols on her, eh? Hey. I am making a series of sizable donations to relief and support organizations. My politics are uncomplicated and remain unchanged. I condemn any organized body of power unleashed acts of violence against innocent civilians. The rise of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia is undeniable. I stand against hate speech in all forms. I stand for freedom and the right to live safely. And I understand that. I think hate speech is ridiculous, and I don't like it myself. But I support the right to be able to speak your mind. But I don't like hate speech. I'm against it. But what's weird is that they define what hate speech is. It's like you not taking the vaccine via 2021 was considered hate speech. Talking out against the vaccine was considered hate speech. Saying that the virus came from China was considered hate speech. Now it's like, yeah, it probably did. Yeah, it did. It came from China. So, the definition of hate speech changes daily. So it's hard to say what kind of hate speech you're against because it's just whatever they feel like in the moment.
How dare you?
She has a pretty nice pair of bristles on her. Hey, governor. I can't do British accent right now. I can't do a British accent right now, governor. She has a pretty nice pair of bristles, she does. Governor. That whole tweet is why 140 characters limit should have stayed in place. Well, no, this is this looks like she wrote this on her. This is a Instagram story that she wrote. All that she wrote was an Instagram story. She's gonna get you. All that she... I don't know what I'm doing. All right, here we go. So let's get through that. The Grammy-nominated singer said during her Love and Power tour in 2022, there were a number of violent and threatening events that resulted in her home being swatted. She also told followers that snipers were present. We know that. However, so HAlsey, we know that. There's no me. I deeply despise a culture of deflecting responsibility to save face in front of audience demanding comment. I just don't think that. I mean, deflecting is one thing, but choosing to not comment on something. HAlsey's Bristol. Hey, let me look at HAlsey's Bristols. Let's see. Looking pretty. Let's just put that. I don't want no fucking titties to come up or something. They're not the biggest tits, but they'll do. All you need is a handful. Honestly, I don't even care about titties. Titties don't really mean... I mean, a big pair of tits is great. No tits, I don't even care. I don't really care about titties that much. I'm more of an assman. That's why I moved to Aspen. Because I'm an assman. Oh, that makes her titties look pretty good there. Man, those are some good titties right there. Good bristles. I just want to see her ass. Let's see some HAlsey butt pics. All right, let's make sure that isn't. Well, she has quite a few butt pics. All right, I just want to make sure there was no New York accent, New York English. Yeah. All right, so here's some booty shots. Booty is pretty on point. That is not a bad booty right there. This is a decent ass. HAlsey, you don't got tits worth a fuck, but you got ass worth a shit. You got that ass for the gas, boy. Anyways, there's Halsey. Uh, we're done ogling Halsey. Conclude my podcast. Since being shared on X, formerly Twitter, by user Popbase, Halsey's statements has received at least 2.3 million views outside of Instagram. Many applauded the Colors singer with the poppy writing, "I knew we could trust you, Halsey." She stands in support of the correct side of history, and we love her for that. A lot of these Hollywood artists should take notes. Hamad agreed, commenting, "It takes a lot of courage to acknowledge one's regrets and stand up for what's right. It's important to support the liberation and rights of all people, including the Palestinian people." However, others slammed the star for her statement, with Raz Ali writing, "Well, this was random. Who was asking for her stance?" Ask gas and grass. No one rides for free, bitch. Yeah, she has the ass for the gas, baby. She is hopping on the bandwagon to get her name out again. We stand with Israel. While Servarna called the post a "here I said something, now stop complaining" kind of statement. Glad they finally spoke up. Glad she admits regret, but no mention about her Zionist manager or her makeup brand shipping to Israel, etc., etc. They continued. What do you want her to do? What do you want her to do? She's trying to just she's trying to get some money. She has a child. She's using fleeting fame to, have a life. I'm just saying, let her speak her mind. She doesn't have to fucking change her entire lifestyle. And again, I don't have a problem with, supporting Palestine. My biggest problem is how blatant people are with this anti-Semitic shit, where they're saying, they really do. They are really just turning on the Jews. And I know there's only 15 million of the motherfuckers, but I mean, they don't deserve to die or not exist. That just seems a little fucked up, especially for people who say they stand for, equality and peace. There's literally people calling for the murder of all the Jews. And it's so funny how these people don't see like they get mad when you call them Nazis because it's like, yeah, we're saying after Palestine, they're brown. And by the way, Palestine hates America. They don't like the gays or the trans. All right. They don't think feminism is great. All right. So I don't know what you think you're supporting, but it's certainly, it's an idea, right? It's an idea. They're not actually supporting the people here in America who are acting on the behest of our government controlled media. They're not looking at it in a rational way. They're just sort of like, yeah, how's your Palestine doing? Who knows? That's old news, Naders. How's East Palestine doing? Who gives a fuck, bro? We're on to Israel now. No one gives a fuck anymore. They're probably all got cancer right now. I'm just guessing. All this money going to Ukraine could have been going to Israel. Can't even clean up our front yard. Yo, did you guys see how fucking California Governor Newsom cleaned up San Francisco for a day? Governor Newsom cleaned up San Francisco for a day. Look at, how's his ass? Oh, that's a nice ass. It's not a bad ass at all. Newsom backlash SF cleanup G. Gavin Newsom, another Newsweek. Gavin Newsom slammed for only cleaning up San Francisco for Xi Jinping. What the fuck? It's so interesting to see how people are like, how they find this is okay. Like, this is okay. And they smile and they laugh about it, which is the most fucked up part about it. Like, watch this.
All those fancy leaders are coming into town.
Look, she's smiling.
That's true.
That's
because it's true.
Look, it's true because it's true. We only care to make fucking the appearance. Look at this. Watch this again. We'll actually watch the whole video.
I know folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town.
Look at, they're all smiling. This bitch back here, who is the San Francisco's mayor, and whoever this cockknocker is on the other side of fucking Newsom, they're smiling. Like this is fucking funny. Like he's making a joke. He's got to keep his ball. Yeah, exactly. Newsom fucking probably blowing Xi Jinping. Let me get some. Oh, please, Xi. Let me get some of that fucking China money. Let me get some of that China money. Let me get some of that Uyghur slave money. His eyeliner was running. Please, Xi. Please. Please. That guy used to be on Dynasty. Nah, shut up. Are you serious? There's no way. Newsom used to be an actor? You're lying. I think that you're just making a joke. You are making a joke. Okay, you're making a joke. It wasn't that funny.
That's true.
Look at smiling.
Because it's true.
Because it's true.
But it's also true for months and months and months prior to APEC, we've been having different conversations. And we've raised the bar of expectation between the city, the county, and the state.
I bet you have, you fuck. You stupid fucking assholes. They aren't doing anything. California Governor Gavin Newsom has come under fire after admitting that San Francisco was cleaned up ahead of the arrival of fancy leaders for their annual Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Leaders Summit. We put up so many China flags. There was no American flags anywhere. Nowhere. Newsom told Newsom, a former San Francisco mayor. Oh, he was. Oh, I see. Added the Californians will be seeing a lot more of this around town and all around the Bay Area. We'll see. We'll see. He later told reporters that obviously anytime you put an event, by definition, you know you have people over to your house, you're going to clean up the house. But they just couldn't seem to do that for the last couple of years. Check out my mousy tongue. I swear to God, oh my God, who was the guy? Before, after pics. You should see these before and after pics that they put up. And also, the picture of Newsom lizard street artist. This shit's tight, dude. Look at this. This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. This is a picture someone painted on the side of on some street art. This is street art, and it's just a face pulled over a lizard. I bet he's tongue punched a few turd cutters. I bet that motherfucker right there has tongue punched a few turd cutters. That motherfucker has tongue punched a few turd cutters in his day, let me tell you. Right. He's fucking tossing Xi's fucking asshole. Let me get some of that China money. Oh, it's very spicy. Anyways. Oh my God. You're doing this to me? Where are those pictures at? I just need the pictures. I don't need you. I need pictures. I need the before and after picture. Yeah, baby. He's a butt slut for sure. All right, let me do something real quick. I just want to do before and after pics, and then we'll keep moving on with the actual conversation we are having, because we're just ADHDing together. Why are we up so? Why are we up so eight up? What is it? Hold on, let me see. Starred. Boom, boom. Copy pasta right in the kisser. Boom. Let's see what happens now. I just want to see these before and after pics. All right, so here's before and after video. Before G and after G. Before after G. BXAX. Okay. Okay, so they just replaced. So they replaced the tents with these troughs, these like metal troughs over here. Then they're flower planters. Instead of homeless people, they put flower planters. Look at this shit, dude. This is wild. Look at that. Tent fucking central. Boom. Look good. Yeah, exactly. He's all good here. Where tents were previously propped up, sidewalks are clear and spotless. Locals where homeless once congregated are now cleared as if a years-long crisis affecting countless never happened. And the fact that they smiled, like that really bothers me, that they're in the background laughing, thinking that that was funny. Those aren't cheap. Street coffins. I mean, it's fucking sickening and sad. Like a city that has so many resources at their disposal, and they just can't seem to figure it out. Again, not all homeless people want to be housed. You're always going to have some people who choose to live on the streets. But for most part, people aren't there because they want to be. So, I don't know. I wish we could show, where's those pictures of fucking the car coming down, his whole cavalcade coming down the street. It was fucking, look at this. Look at, no more loitering. They're all gone. No more loiterers. That's so funny to me. Look at that. Oh my God, it's just garbage. They're just living on this corner. Like, this is my corner. They just got out there. All they had to do is get some motherfuckers out there and clean up some trash. No big deal. Street closures. Look at this. Uphold sovereignty of nations. Dictator Xi Jinping, your time is up. Free Tibet. That's kind of dope. No one's asking for, no one's talking about fucking the Uyghur Muslims. No one gives a fuck about Uyghur Muslims. They're just like, free Tibet, fuckers. It's okay that you have a whole group of people enslaved. But Tibet. Which they should free Tibet too. But still, it's like, yeah, my face, bitch. These people don't know what the fuck they want. There's a video of all the big stores that close. And yeah, there is. Absolutely. Yeah, there's like lists. I've seen those lists too. List of major stores that left San Francisco. AT&T, Banana Republic, First Republic Bank, Starbucks, Target, CVS, Westfield, Nordstrom is leaving. Yeah. Lots of stores. What about Thailand? Free to bet with every purchase. What about Thailand? Or Taiwan even? What about all these places? No one gives a fuck about any of them. They care about the Palestinians. They really do. They really care, guys. They really give a fuck. Anyways, coming back to HAlsey. Okay. Glad they finally spoke up. Glad she admits regret, but no mention about her Zionist manager and her makeup brand shipping to Israel, etc., etc. Glad they finally spoke up. You know it's a problem if McDonald's... If McDonald's is out, they're like, yeah, McDonald's is in like every hood, fucking proudly fucking killing the residents with diabetes and high cholesterol. But in San Francisco, where money is abundant in the downtown area, they're like, we out, we gone. Not one mention of genocide, ethnic cleansing, and having a Zionist manager. Like, okay, so now she has to. All good, naders. I think I got what you're talking about. Zionist man. So they're mad at her for having a Zionist manager. They're Zionist meaning fucking Jew. That's their like PC way of being like fucking Jew. You know. Again, I love the Jews. I love the Muslims, the Islams, the Palestinians, all of them. I love them all. There's no reason for anybody to have to like be exterminated off the face of Earth. Wouldn't it be fucked up if the Western world all of a sudden just decided we're going to stand by and watch Israel crumble? Could you imagine that? If we're just like, you know what? You're on your own, Israel. We're back in Palestine. And basically, fucking, if it goes through of just like exterminating all of it, like I could see that happening. I mean, look at what we did during World War II. We just sort of turned a blind eye to all that shit. And that's what we've been doing essentially for the last, 70 years, is turning a blind eye to Israel's expansionist, regime. They keep taking more and more land, and the international community has just sort of turned a blind eye. So can you imagine if they all did that? It's all pink on the inside. Exactly. Naders. My pussy is pink and my booty hole brown. Oh, well, I don't know. Gonna have to clean my TV after the Daily Fail on there. And you love the Daily Fail. The new target is straight white males. Well, they can definitely hit up there's definitely some straight white male Jews that they can definitely throw in the mix too, right? They're just like, fuck it. HAlsey has previously expressed her support for Palestinians in a tweet May 13, 2021. The singer, who was 4 months pregnant at the time, shared the story of Rima Saad, a 31-year-old pregnant woman who was killed in an Israeli air raid along with her 29-year-old husband and 2 children. Eid Mubarak from my family's to yours, she said in the post. As we are celebrating and expecting our first child, I am thinking of Rima Saad, who was 4 months pregnant and murdered along with her family and 2 small children. Pray for the ending of their suffering. # Free Palestine. And that was from her tweet. HAlsey isn't the only famous face to support Palestinians in the recent weeks, leading to mixed responses from fans. A Lebanese former adult film star, Mia Khalifa, of course we have to know what she's saying, lost her podcasting contract with Playboy after calling Hamas freedom fighters on social media, while Swedish singer Zara Larsson was criticized for comparing the Israel-Hamas conflict to Russia-Ukraine, writing on her Instagram, so it stands with Ukraine when Russia invades, but not Palestine. And she cuts it off. Look at, what is this? Fairness meter. Newsweek is committed to journalism. Click on the meter to rate this article. I won't give you any information, Newsweek. Fuck you. Wait a second. What did this fucking skank say? Let's go over here. Hold on. Let's see. Zara Larsson. Who's Zara Larsson? I don't even know who Zara Larsson is. All these people. Hezbollah, an Iran-backed organization, U.S. considered a terrorist group alongside Hamas. Sunday, blah, blah, blah. As the conflict captured, many celebrities are using their social media to express their sympathy and support for Israel. Some have shared neutral messages while others support Palestinian people. Purple Punch, Gelato, Lemon Kush. I can't decide. I'm a Kush guy. I'm a Kush guy. I like Kush, but I'm an indica kind of guy. So I don't know how many of those are indicas, but I'm pretty sure Kush is an indica. So I go indigo. Oh man, I want to get high. I gotta give it up though. Gotta quit for a little bit. It's the last time I dipped my breadstick in some Hamas. That's for sure. I agree. Fuck Hamas. I'll dip it in that booty though. That booty hoe. Can someone please tell the freedom fighters in Palestine to flip their phones and film horizontal? Read Khalifa's social media post. That's a fucked up thing to say. That is a fucked up thing to say. Can someone please tell the freedom fighters in Palestine to flip their phones and film horizontal? That's fucking fucked up. I want to see more death. I want to be able to visually see more people being raped and murdered. Seeking to clarify her statements, Khalifa wrote in an X post on Monday, I just want to make it clear that the statement is no way, shape, or form inciting spread of violence. I specifically said freedom fighters because that's what the Palestinian citizens are, fighting for the freedom every day. That's not what you meant, bitch. That's not what you meant, porn star. I just want to make okay. After Red Light Holland CEO Todd Shapiro criticized the film horizontal post and informed Khalifa via X that she had been fired, she responded, "I'd say supporting Palestine has lost me business opportunities, but I'm more angry at myself for not checking whether or not I was entering into business with Zionists." My bad. I'm going to get some food. This has been fun as always. See you later, Tater. Wooby, thank you so much, my friend. It was great to see you. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us today. You go get some food. Enjoy. Be well. Hug your family. Be with your friends. Do something you love. Don't fucking go home and be worried about the world's problems. Go home and be present with your family and eat with them. And have sex with your wives or husbands, whatever. Or they, thems, whatever. So this bitch is like, I didn't know I was entering the business with fucking Jews, is what she said. Kanye West is sounding more sane to these people every day. In a separate post, Lebanese-born Khalifa said, I just want to make sure that there's 4K footage of my people breaking down the walls of the open-air prison they've been forced out of their homes and into, so we have good options for the history books that write about how they freed themselves from apartheid. Please worry about your sad little company lacking direction and purpose before you utter my name again. I stand with all people fighting oppression. Now and always, do your research before begging for my investment in your little project. I'm from Lebanon. Are you insane for expecting me to be on the side of colonialism, you fucking weirdo? Yo, I'm not mad at that response. I'm not mad at that response because whether or not you agree with this porn star, fuck you for trying to censor her or trying to coerce her into a narrative that you want. Don't worry, Mighty. I'm not leaving yet. Oh. That was for the DJ. Hey, DJ, play my song. I'm not mad at that. I absolutely agree with that. With that sentiment that you shouldn't be entering into contracts where they're be able to control your life in a way that you can't express yourself freely. Responding to radio host and wrestler Peter Rosenberg's criticism of her post, Khalifa wrote, I stand with all oppressed people everywhere until no one is fighting for freedom. I'm from Lebanon. I've lived there. I've lived through more air raids by the IDF than your tiny privileged brain could ever know how to work through. Damn. Fucking solid burns. You know nothing but tall tales of a land that doesn't belong to you, created by a military that has nothing to do with your peaceful, God-loving religion. Don't you ever disrespect me and my experience with a geopolitical war is, again, you man child. That's pretty funny. Palestinian American model Gigi Hadid has shared a statement on the conflict on Instagram. Who cares? Who's Zara Larson? Is she just a fucking actress? Like, who is she? Emma Watson waded in the conversation. Back to Emma Watson, full circle. Viggo Mortensen. They are all talking shit. Okay, so there you go. A little bit more spreading out, seeing who's all talking shit right now. Again, I'm not sitting here ragging on anybody for expressing how they feel about any particular situation. For me, it's more of the idea that they're trying to fucking. It's the fact that they're trying to censor each other. It's the fact that they're infighting within fucking lefty communities. I mean, and of course the right and the left. It's just the idea that people can't express themselves freely. It bothers me. It bothers me that people have to fear consequence because they want to express themselves on Twitter. Now, again, I'm not saying that fucking some people shouldn't have consequences. I mean, if you write some rude shit on Twitter and, you know, it's some just vile shit, I support your right to do that, but there are consequences. So I'm just saying you should be able to fucking express yourself without having to lose your job. And that's the biggest thing. So, like this porn star who's losing her job because she said some shit that somebody didn't agree with. I think it's kind of lame, but you know, that's the right of that company. They can fire her if they want to, especially if they have a different beliefs. I just think it's just kind of whack. That's all. You shouldn't have to worry about losing your job because of what you said on Instagram. But hey, maybe you should. Maybe there's more to it. Maybe if you are saying like the N word and hoping never all black people die or something horribly in some racist thing, maybe you should be fired. I don't know. But for the most part, we should be able to see out in the lights of who are these people who say these stupid things. I know Nikki Haley was getting shit because she wanted to have people be identified online. There's she wants to make sure that every profile name is backed by a human, and nice naders. And it's not a bad idea, but anonymity is important. Privacy is important. So, I mean, there has to be, I could see the thing about these platforms is that, you know, I could see people who wanted to be verified and you want to have like, you know, like on Twitter, how it's a verified account because you send in your ID and all that shit. I like that idea, but you know, the internet is supposed to be this anonymous place of private, you know, private inquiry. So I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. I guess I haven't really thought about it too much at this point. I need to think it through a little bit more, but yeah. I mean, maybe if each if each company just was like, hey, to be on this platform, you have to verify who you are. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad if each company that you choose to go and participate in. So if you want to participate in Facebook or Instagram, you have to have a backed up account with a real ID, a real person to make sure there's no bots and stuff going. I don't think that's a horrible thing, but the idea of like making it so your identity across the entire internet has to be public knowledge seems to be a bit dangerous, or at least a bit invasive. Have you guys seen that FCC thing that they've decided to basically turn the internet into a private or they're giving the power of regulating the internet over to the government? Let's see. I'm still not completely sure on how this works. FCC regulations. Let's see what happens. There we go. FCC adopts rules to eliminate digital discrimination. And now let's all remember that digital discrimination is just another word they use to shut down conversation. So if someone is commenting on, I don't know, BLM or something, they could be like, well, this isn't equality, this is equity. You can't make a comment saying fucking that BLM is a scam. And now they can just sort of regulate who can say what and what can be said. Speaking of the government, what do you think of my Sunday fun? Dude, that shit was tight, son. Oh man, I was staring at that picture for a while. We'll have to pull it up. Let's see if we can pull it up. We're getting so far out now. We're coming back. We'll bring it all back, folks. We're gonna bring it all back. I don't know what this is, but I have been prolonging it for a long time. Whatever they're prompting me to do on Discord. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. That's how you end up without a wee wee. Shut up, Gene. I'll give him the ODB. So this is what Nader's put in. This was Nader's Sunday fun day. We had 2 more tables. It was just you and the homies just fucking going balls out, huh? Fuck, dude. Those are some sexy ass guns right there, baby. Sexy. God damn. You guys are like, let's just put them all out there. And then here's mine. About 1,500 round down range. God damn, that's a lot of money. This is what I just got. Got me a... I guess you can't. A P226 SIG Legion. Love it. Single, double action. Single and double. This is single action only. A P938. And this is a small concealed carry. I think this is kind of cheesy, but it was a good deal. I think the We the People design is kind of cheesy, but it's a good deal. And this is what I'll probably use for concealed carry. What rounds are you running? Like brass? What are you talking about? Like how many grains? Or like the millimeter is 9. 9 millimeter, 115 grain. You can always change your grip. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I was looking. Yeah, because those stars are fucking whacked. I love America, but like not so much that it has to be on my fucking firearm. But again, the 938 is a cool ass fucking firearm that they had a really good deal. It was used, so it was a really good deal. So I was just like, fuck it. But you're right, I can change those grips and get that fucking. Get the stars out of here. But a big reason why I wanted to upgrade from polymer is that polymer degrades over time. I know that some companies, they'll do mixtures of polymer, which is like mix it with alloy. So I don't know what that does. Maybe it makes it last longer, but polymer will deteriorate over 100 years. And so I want these firearms to be able to be handed down through generations, from my son to his kids. So, thinking in long term, an alloy body is where I came to. If it's taken care of well taken care of, it'll last a long, long time, and that's what I want. Imagine the imprint from a pistol whip. Oh. Well, these fucking, and what's up with these Legion fucking clips too, especially if you use the butt of the gun, that's sharp, dude. Those fucking, the mags for the Legion, they're fucking sharp edges, dude, because it's all metal. It's not a plastic thing. You can get like something for it to cover it or whatever, but yeah, that would fucking gash your head wide open, or even using the fucking, the barrel across the fucking jaw. That's a smash jaw right there, baby. But yeah, that's my reasoning in my head. Also, the P320, I had a SIG P320, which has a problem, which SIG sort of brushes right over. But it's been known to just go off in people's fucking holsters and shit. There's a metal plate on the butt stock of my ooh, shit. Just right, right in the fucking kisser. To the moon, bitch. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So the FCC is doing this. Save the ammo. Hey, if it's that kind of situation, yeah. That's what fucking, that's what those Bowie knives are for, right? Sneaking up on bitches. A federal communication, the FCC has enacted new rules intended to eliminate discrimination in access to internet services, a move which regulators are calling the first major U.S. digital civil rights policy. So what they're doing in the name of equity is that they're trying to make it so it doesn't sound so bad, but I think a lot of people are saying that the verbiage of the bill again is sort of open-ended, and it allows the FCC to sort of take a more take on more responsibility than they should even be allowed. The rules package, which the commission ratified on Wednesday, would empower the agency to review and investigate instances of discrimination by broadband providers to different communities based on income, race, ethnicity, and other protected classes, which doesn't sound bad, right? Like people in the hood should have access to good internet. I'm with that. The order also provides a framework for the FCC to crack down on a range of digital inequities, including the disparities in the investment of services for different neighborhoods, as well as the digital divide, a term experts use to describe the complete lack of internet access many communities experience due to regional or socioeconomic inequalities. Sounds good so far. FCC Chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel said that Congress required the agency to adopt rules addressing digital discrimination through bipartisan infrastructure legislation passed at the start of the Biden administration. The digital divide puts us at an economic disadvantage as a country that disproportionately affects communities of color, lower income areas, and rural areas. There is no clear standard for trafficking inequalities in provision of digital services, though communities impacted by okay, so they're still talking. The rules allow the agency to examine whether an internet service provider knowingly discriminated against a community in how it built, upgrade, or maintained internet access, as well as provide framework for determining whether a purpose service plan would create discriminatory effect. While the intent of the statute is to apply pressure to internet service providers in order to avert discrimination, it also eases the responsibility of the state and localities who are receiving federal infrastructure funds to have that same responsibility. Okay, so they keep on talking about this. Okay, and which is a good part of this bill, but hold on. Where's the people we're talking about the bad side of it? Ignoring disparate impact would have denied Congress's directive to the agents. Okay. Re-implement landmark. Okay. The FCC is also poised to re-implement landmark net neutrality rules that were rescinded under the Trump administration. President Joe Biden has said the investments in bipartisan infrastructure law are meant to connect every U.S. household to quality internet services by 2030, regardless of income or identity. Whatever the FCC does in terms of discipline or punishment, I would hope that the benefit goes to the community being discriminated against in form of more equitable deployment. It's unclear at the moment how many complaints would be needed for the FCC to elevate it to an investigatory issue. Okay. Where's the people talking shit? That's what I want to know. Because that was just like a whole puff piece on how awesome that was. Oh, you know what? I saved a bunch of videos on TikTok. Where was it? What's this called? FCC digital discrimination. Oh, let's go to AI and ask AI what it thinks. So why are some afraid of the new digital discrimination what was it called? The digital discrimination rules. FCC. We're gonna see. All right, man. Be well, and have a great rest of your day, Naders. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you, my friend. Why are some afraid of the new digital discrimination FCC rules? Let's see why people are afraid. Yeah, I love butt sluts too, baby. The rules are designed to prevent discrimination and access. They aim to ensure all Americans have equal access to broadband service. However, the rules also introduce a disparate impact standard for identifying discrimination. This means that broadband providers could be in violation of the rules even if they are not intentionally withholding quality internet from a protected group. This has led to concerns in the industry as companies could potentially be held liable for unintentional differential impacts on consumers. Moreover, rules could affect decisions about network upgrades, pricing, marketing, maintenance, and more. This could potentially lead to an increased regulatory oversight that could impact the business operations of major broadband providers. It's important to note that these concerns represent no perspective, and the ultimate goal of these rules is to facilitate equal access to broadband. Oh, look at them. Look at Bing just fucking making sure that they're toting the line. Consider arguments case by case. Is there a chance of violations of the First Amendment in the new rules? Let's see what the AI says. What are you gonna say, AI? What are you gonna tell me? Tell me. The First Amendment. Yeah, we know that, bitch. You know, the new general discrimination to prevent discrimination and access. They do not appear to directly regulate content of speech in the right to receive important information. Instead, they focus on ensuring equitable access to the medium broadband. However, any concerns of potential First Amendment violations would likely stem from the perception that these rules could indirectly affect the content of speech by influencing the business practices of broadband providers. For example, if the rules were interpreted in a way that affected decisions about network upgrade, pricing, marketing, and maintenance, and more, this could potentially have an impact on the type of quality of information that consumers can access via broadband services. Now, I've heard of them talking about these kinds of things where you can access only a certain amount of information, and they're talking about doing pay scales on like what you can access, which sounds really fucked up, honestly. But I don't know. I know there's a lot of people who are against this, who are thinking that this is where fucking the end of free speech on the internet. They're calling it the end of the internet. Task for Preventive Listening in Baltimore. Net neutrality is over. So I don't see anything on here talking about it for now. But this is YouTube, Google, so everything is regulated and censored now. So anyways, getting back to our original point here, which was I don't even fucking know where we were at. Where did we even come from? Where are we at here? So we were last talking about how HAlsey and other celebrities were talking shit about either they're for Palestine or they're for Israel. There's this huge divide going on. And, last week we were talking about how, there's some certain conspiracy theories, which this is just theory. I'm not believing it. I'm not going with it. I'm not saying this is what it is. People are saying that the attack on October 7th against Israel by Hamas was a false flag operation, and there was a lot of stuff to gain from that operation. So, meaning they could, eliminate Palestinians now and find public favor because of, the innocents who got killed at the hands of Hamas, win public opinion about going in there and destroying it, expanding the opportunity to expand their territory. There's a lot of reasons that we were listing. What would be a reason why anybody would want a false flag operation such as October 7th? There's another reason that I found that sort of links into, this whole discussion about what's going on in the Middle East. And again, we're back at Jimmy Dore, who I absolutely adore. And some interesting things that's been sort of uncovered and readdressed. So let's
I bet you thought that the Israeli-Palestine thing was all about something else. Well,
Yeah,
guess
it's
what?
about a clash of civilizations, Jimmy.
That's right. Clash of Civilizations. It's the oldest story in the book. It's about natural gas. It's about oil and gas. You ready? Watch this.
Gaza is rich, gas rich, at least 1.4 trillion cubic feet rich, to be precise. But there's a catch.
Geologists and natural resources economists have confirmed that the occupied Palestinian territory lies above sizable reservoirs of oil and natural gas wealth in Area C of the occupied West Bank and the Mediterranean coast off the Gaza Strip. To date, the real and opportunity costs of the occupation exclusively in the area of oil and natural gas have accumulated to tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars.
Back in 1999, the
Surprise,
And
surprise.
now you know the rest of the story.
I mean, you don't even have to finish the story because I know exactly how this goes.
That's
'cause
right.
It goes the same way every single time.
So wait, this means it's not about religion, Kurt.
No?
I mean, sure, it's about religion for suckers who have to fight and die for the energy business.
Right, and Bill Maher.
And Bill Maher. I just mean it's not about religion for any of the people in charge making the decisions about the war in Gaza.
And that's I've been hearing a lot of people say that. It's like, it's not really about religion. It's more of a political move that, where there's a good amount of land and resources to be had. The idea is that, what if Israel was a big time player in the oil and gas industry? And what does that do for America to have an ally that has access to 1.4 trillion square feet of oil reserves? Sounds like a lot of people are making a lot of money. Anyways.
Boy, why does God always leave incredible wealth underneath bad people?
I know.
It's such a hassle having to wipe them out.
That's a joke, but it's very real, right? Like, I mean, the example I have, and this is something that's still being debated, whether or not 9/11, the attack on the World Trade Center in New York City, was a false flag operation to incur billions of dollars in wartime money, and you had lots of invasions and lots of regulations, lots of control on the population, and Patriot Act, all kinds of great stuff happened as a result of the attacks of 9/11 for particular people who happen to run the show and to run the war markets and to run, to go into these other countries and overthrow them through our CIA. And then they do their little takeover and install our own people in there. It's the oldest play in the American playbook. Well, not the oldest, but it's one of those plays. It's one of those American plays. And I think Jimmy Dore is suggesting, and I'm not saying this is what happened, because I definitely denounce Hamas and the attack of October 7th. I think that's horrible and should not have happened. And Hamas is a terrorist organization who I do think should be eliminated. Fuck them. Palestinians, on the other hand, should also be able to freely move within their territories that are technically theirs. So, okay. So let's get back to this.
To get our energy-related gifts from our God.
Oh, yeah. That's where we're at. Because he was saying, why does God put resources under bad people? And that's all it takes, right? That's what a lot of people were suggesting 9/11 was a false flag operation to go and invade these resource-rich countries that we could just throw the blame on and get the American people behind. Interestingly enough, Ukraine has a huge deposit of natural gas underneath them. Interesting. Burisma. Biden's.
I mean, since I was a boy, listen to my Bible storybook tapes. The bad people been on top of the stuff God said we could have.
Do I really need to play the rest of this video? I don't think I do. I'll play a little bit, but that's it. You got the story. That's it.
I mean, you don't have to.
That's it.
I did go looking it up because it's the BG Group, which is a British exploration company who found it.
BP or BG?
BGG.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't know if they got split off or something, but
it's
they were
just
going
like
to cut a deal. This is 1999. They were going to cut a deal, but then 2006 is when they had they had something going around 2006. Whenever 2008, when Israel went back in, that's when they took the oil fields, and they planned the attack while fake negotiating to do the oil deal. It turned out they had planned it, kind of like we did with Putin.
Yeah.
A lot of these natural gas things are very similar. You pretend you're going to have a peaceful thing while you build up whatever you're going to do to go
That's what the Minsk Peace Accords were about.
If you look at I noticed some similarities, is all I'm saying.
The Minsk Peace Accords, which we've looked up before. There's just so much information. I don't know how to stay up on all this stuff. But the Minsk, I know that was a huge. I can't spell it. Minsk agreements. Here we go. So the Minsk agreements, just so everyone's up to date, including myself, were a series of international agreements which sought to end the Donbass War, fought between armed Russian separatist groups and armed forces in Ukraine, with Russian regular forces playing a central part. The first known as the Minsk Protocol was drafted in 2014 by the Trilateral Contact Group in Ukraine, consisting of Ukraine, Russia, and the Organization of Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, with the mediation by the leaders of France and Germany in the so-called Normandy format. Oof. After extensive talks in the Minsk, Belarus, the agreement was signed on 5th of September 2014 by representatives of the Trilateral Contact Group without recognition of their status by the then leaders of self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic and the Luhansk People's Republic, or the DPR, LPR. This agreement followed multiple previous attempts to stop fighting in the region and aimed to implement an immediate ceasefire. The agreement failed to stop the fighting. Okay, so we got that stuff. That's kind of an idea of what it is. Still don't understand it. I'm kind of stupid, guys. If you didn't know, if you couldn't tell.
So I'll play a little bit more, but that's really
Palestinian authorities signed a deal with British Gas. just off the Gaza coast, they struck it lucky. And 2 wells were drilled. That's Gaza Marine 1 and 2. It was a multi-billion-dollar gift from God, an economic boon both home and abroad.
This is one of the key messages here today. There will be gas available for export. And from my conversations with Palestinian officials, including President Arafat, it is clear that they have no interest in just sitting on a gas surplus.
Fast forward to 2007. Hamas comes to power, and Israel launches an offensive on the Gaza Strip.
So they were just talking about how this happened in 1999. What they just was explaining, and now they're talking in 2007.
Leaving behind 4.
So let's remember why Israel's funding Hamas.
Yeah.
That's the thing no one talks about. Israel's funding Hamas. Why do you think they're funding Hamas? So they can then use their terrorism, they're fighting back against the occupation and the blockade, as a pretext to go in and take that land. That's why they're telling everybody, get the hell out of there. We're gonna flatten it. We're dropping leaflets. Get the hell out of there. We're gonna flatten the land, and then we're gonna take all the gas and oil.
Which is just a happy coincidence that there happens to be billions of dollars worth of oil in the Gaza Strip.
That's what this is all about.
It's just a big coincidence, guys. Don't listen to Jimmy. All right, don't listen to him. It's a big coincidence.
But of course.
I think they already took it way back then, didn't they?
Here we go.
1,500 dead Palestinians, but taking with it the gas
Yeah, they already
fields.
got it.
Now, within the year, Israel announced the discovery of the Leviathan natural gas field, which did include Gaza's riches. All in all, valued at $453 billion.
Wow, that's almost as much money as Jeff Bezos has. That's a lot of money.
How much does he have?
I don't know. I thought he was a trillionaire almost. Wasn't he close?
No, is he?
Am I wrong? We're going to look it up. Here we go.
We're gonna look it up.
Maybe
Let's
I'm
look it
wrong.
up.
I thought he was close to being a trillionaire.
Then Gazans haven't seen a shekel, or to be more accurate, they have been denied around $47 billion in revenue.
So they're not giving any of the money to the Palestinians.
Yeah, they already did take it, and they didn't give them their share.
They already took it.
Yeah.
Okay.
As for Tel Aviv, well, it's gunning to become a new hub.
This is a historical moment in which the small country of Israel becomes a significant player in the global energy market. The Memorandum of Understanding will enable Israel, for the first time, to export Israeli natural gas to Europe. And it is even more impressive looking at the significant set of agreements we signed over the last year, which position Israel and the Israeli energy and water sectors as a key global player.
Let's just run through this then. At that moment in time, so we're talking 2022, Russian oil and gas was sanctioned. Iranian oil was sanctioned. Syrian oil fields were...
I love that we are reacting to Jimmy Dore reacting to RT. That's what content creation has come to.
And still are illegally occupied by U.S. forces. Now, the key port of...
Interesting. Illegally occupied. Now, this is Russia Today. So the thing about Russia Today is you got to remember that it's always going to have a slant towards Russia and a shit slant towards America. But it's not like America doesn't help or commit atrocities all the time. So it's not like we're innocent.
Which position Israel and the Israeli energy and water sectors as a key global player.
Let's just run through this then. At that moment in time, so we're talking 2022, Russian oil and gas was sanctioned. Iranian oil was sanctioned. Syrian oil fields were, and still are, illegally occupied by U.S. forces.
Which is... Nobody talks about that.
Now, the key port of Latakia was being bombed by Israel, and the port of Beirut, the gateway to the Middle East, lay in ruins.
There was just that crazy ammonia explosion or something. Remember that? Remember that big explosion in the... Oh, it was a whoops. Just a quinky dink.
Is that a greenhouse gas?
A quinky dink.
Enter this small country of Israel right here with its seas of gas, its working ports, an answer to Europe's problems, and perhaps, most critically, the U.S. blessing. Because in case you didn't know, US Congress has decided that Israeli energy is in the highest national security interests of Washington.
It is? What? Really? Why would that be the highest national security interest of the United States to develop covered energy sources? Why? Okay.
So DC was only too happy for Tel Aviv to become a key global player. After all, it had itself previously mulled over ways in which to make its 51st state a window onto Europe.
Israel, the 51st state, which I wouldn't be against. I don't like that we have leaders in America that have dual citizenship to here and to any other country, not just Israel. If you have a dual citizenship and you're serving in Congress or the Senate or any form of leadership within our government, you should be a full-on citizen of the United States and no other citizen of any other country. Like, I just feel like, where's your loyalties? Because as much as Israel is our friends and our people who are on our side, and they're still a different country. They still have different beliefs. They still have a different system of doing shit. They still are like one of the most locked down, invasive governments on earth. So, I don't know. I think that we should be, America runs America. Americans run America, not fucking people who have split loyalties.
Another interesting application of nuclear excavation would be a sea level canal 160 miles long across Israel, connecting the Mediterranean with the Gulf of Aqaba, and thus the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean. Such a canal would be a strategically valuable alternate to the present Suez Canal.
The Suez Canal is a gold mine. It connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Indian Ocean via the Red Sea. It is the link between Asia and Europe. Every day, almost 3 million barrels of oil, 8% of global LNG, 50 ships, $9 billion worth of cargo, 12% of global trade all pass along this right here single canal. Remember in 2021 how a container ship ran aground in the Suez? Global trade was brought to its knees. The alternative route via the Cape of Good Hope adds around 9 days and 7,000 kilometers to the journey. There is no replacement for the Suez Canal, except perhaps for the Ben Gurion Canal. Now, what the US had been thinking about back in the 60s was dropping 520 nukes on parts of Israel.
That seems like a 1960s idea. Let's just drop some nukes and create a canal in the middle of the desert. That sounds like a good idea. You had a bunch of fucking white dudes in a room with their fucking ties and their suit jackets on the back of their chair, fucking smoking like 30 cigarettes, and they're on their fourth martini of the day. Yeah. Let's drop some nukes and create a fucking waterway in the desert. Sounds tight. Glug, glug, glug. Nuclear bombs. 520 of them.
All to build a 260-kilometer long canal that would start at the Red Sea down there in the port city of Eilat, run through the Negev desert, and pour out into the Mediterranean. Where exactly? Right next to northern Gaza, the same northern Gaza that is currently being bombarded and depopulated. Egypt and its money-making Suez Canal would just be sidelined. The same Egypt that, rumor has it, is now considering taking in refugees in exchange for debt relief by the US. Wow. And if you think it's crude of me to talk business during times of an existential war, think again.
The winning companies have...
War is business. War is business. War is huge, big business that involves, tons of different resources and and companies and different, just fucking Lockheed Martin and Boeing and fucking, people who make little parts for rockets and companies that make little like little stickers and shit. Like there's a lot of shit that goes into it. Weapons, the special forces, the armies, and the people who run these. A lot of money that goes into this.
Committed to unprecedented investment in natural gas exploration over the next 3 years, which would hopefully result in the discovery of new natural gas reservoirs.
In recent weeks, Tel Aviv has handed out 12 new licenses to 6 companies, on top of the plan to tap more of the Gaza marine resources.
Whoa.
This area is a strategic gold mine. The Israelis have their largest foreign base down the Red Sea, just off Eritrea. And here, a bit further down, Beijing has a naval base in Djibouti, a key piece in its enormous global infrastructure project, the Belt and Road, hated by London, Brussels, and Washington alike. Always ask yourself, cui bono, who benefits? Because war is horror and war is hell. But never forget that war, above all else,
is a racket.
It's big business.
It's a racket. War is a racket. It's all about business and natural and fossil fuels, baby. It's always been. And once again, we are killing each other over a substance made of the last big stupid animals that dominated the face of the earth. Does anyone really think this was about religion, Kurt? The Suez Canal and the immeasurable profits.
Yeah, baby. Texas tea. Black gold.
More important than human life. We're not dealing with religious leaders. We're dealing with shareholders. They only have one deity, and the places of worship all have ATMs installed. Okay? Pragmatic evil is the curse of the modern world.
It's like technocrat stuff.
Yes.
Like, well, it'd just be better if the people were not in the way. First of all, I know it was the 60s, but to even try to calculate that you would dig a canal with nuclear bombs.
With nuclear bombs?
What?
What? Whoa. I don't got to live there.
They had already done Hiroshima and Nagasaki at that point, so you would think it'd be like, that might leave some problems.
So either human life will win or greed will win. They both cannot succeed simultaneously.
What about some really greedy lives that will sacrifice all the other lives, and then they will win?
That is amazing. I'm going to guarantee you Rachel Maddow is not going to tell you this. Sean Hannity's not going to tell you this. Anderson Cooper, not going to tell you this.
They're not going to say shit about this. This is the last thing that they would be allowed to talk about on the mainstream media.
Till just now.
I mean, neither.
I had no idea. I always be like, does Israel not have gas or anything? Like, I always wondered about it. Never heard a thing. And apparently 1999, this wasn't like a top secret released file. I mean, the nuclear bomb thing was, but the natural gas thing there wasn't really reported.
Nuclear bombs. They're going to use nuclear bombs to build a canal. Wow.
It is stupid.
How did they build the Panama Canal? They didn't use nukes back then. They got it done.
They didn't have the technology.
Right.
They used dynamite.
So I guess just because it would take too long?
I want my gas now.
I want it now.
So when do you send the workers into the nuclear blast zone to get that canal moving?
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's why we had to blow up the pipeline.
That's why we had to blow up that Nord Stream pipeline.
No, it's not Ukraine. The guy that
and
they
that's why
arrested.
we got to stand with this. This is why we're standing with Israel. Because of all. This is why, of course.
We stand with Israel because they have the most
Kennedy
money.
Was talking about in that speech that we tore apart. Or not a speech, but that thing he was saying when he talked about. He said Israel is like an
aircraft
carrier in the Middle East. Unfortunately, it has a concentration camp on it.
Yeah, but also
and then Russia
protects oil.
Protects oil. Russia, China, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the Venezuela regime could control 90% of the oil. It's just amazing. This is it. And so the guy who launched his candidacy as a peace candidate quickly turned into using the same rhetoric that has gotten us into every war ever.
Today he was a president.
That's when he knew Yes, that's when you knew he was serious.
That's when the Fareed Zakari in me. really came out, and I said, today he is a president.
He is a president.
Which I like RFK.
It's a heartbreaker. Okay, there it is. This is what it's all about, dummies.
That's what it's all about, dummies. All right. I gotta pee so bad, so let's watch some videos and we'll come back, and I think we'll do one more segment. But I have to piss so bad now that I said it. It's fucking going crazy. So let's go into the videos. Hopefully they work. Oh, please work, videos. Don't make me do stuff. Oh my god, it just hit so hard. I can't find my video. Where are the videos? Where are the videos?